Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday. It's about 10:42. How is everybody doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. I know it's been a while, but I had to hop on and talk about this. I didn't know if I wanted to put this in a short or a video, but then I realized I gabbed too much. So here we are. Though now that there are a lot more of you here, I think I want to go back and go back to two posts that I made early on and read them in a short, kind of play around with that a little bit. One is a letter I wrote to myself a little over a year after the adoption, which I encourage anybody that goes through anything like traumatic to do because it was very therapeutic. Uh, and the other one is about rugs. It's really a post about breaking cycles and whatnot. So I think that I want to go play around with that. But for now, I wanted to share a quick story that really gave just such confirmation in all of this. I don't know. And also one that let me know that maybe, just maybe, I'm not doing a bad job as a mom after all. I also felt the need to share this for anyone out there who's struggling or wondering, and kind of as a reminder, if you've been following along with me, I am one to say, oh, you do hear it. You do. You just, you know. So I wanted to share this as a little reminder as well. I recently had a conversation with my 8-year-old son that just truly touched my heart. I'm gonna try not to cry through this one, you guys. I know, I know. We were talking about something that he did, and I can't really remember what it was because you'll see why. And I said, but what I said was, that's why it's so important to listen to ourselves. And I started to say, there's this voice inside of us, and he interrupted me, and he was like, "Yeah, mom, but that voice is not like my voice. I can tell." And I was just taken aback, like both shocked and happy at the same time. Like he was not only able to hear it, but also recognize that it wasn't his own. And I replied, yes. I was like, that voice is there to guide and protect you if you let it and you listen to it. I said, when you do something bad and it's saying that you probably shouldn't do that, or when it's telling you to do something, but you're so afraid. And I told him, I said, I believe that is a gift from God. And he replied, he's like, but mom, that voice is so quiet. Dude, I almost fell out of my couch. I said it can be, but the more you listen to it, the louder it will become, the stronger it will be. It's like any other muscle you have, any other thing you want to accomplish. It's not an easy thing to do. Mom is 34 and she has spent her whole life trying to listen to it. Many people spend their whole lives trying to hear it. So you have half the battle down. But I promise you, the more you listen, the easier it will be. That it's not always a voice, it can be a feeling, or even some people feel it so strong that they can see it so clearly. I told him, those videos mom goes and does? I talk a lot about that voice and learning to listen to it. It's the one thing that I hope people take away from it all, and how important it is, no matter where they believe it comes from. This conversation with my son reminded me of 1 Kings 19:12, where Elijah hears the still small voice of God. It wasn't in the wind, earthquake, or fire, but it was a gentle whisper. My 8-year-old son is proof that even the youngest among us can hear that quiet voice if we listen. See, I believe that a majority of us hear it, feel it, see it. We want to say that we do not, but it's the very first thing we fight when it pops up. There is such a difference in those two things. What we want is the doors to open before we close the one we're in. When the Lord wants us to close the door we're in first, and He will open all the doors afterwards. What we want is to see the boat that will carry us through the rough water, where God says, we do not need it. Jump in. And you do. And there is somehow a life raft you missed, and it carries you through. It's crazy to think about for me. My upbringing and my son's upbringing are complete opposites. Where I've had all these bad, difficult experiences that led me to become more in tune with that voice, my son has never known anything like that in his upbringing. And yet, he's still able to very early recognize and understand it. I'm all about breaking cycles in this house, which I will get more into down the road as I want to talk about the relationship with my kids. I think it's very important, especially with, with what I talk about on this channel. But I think the next video will be about my upbringing and the times that voice popped up, where I gained a lot of what I feel I needed to be aware enough to make the decision of adoption. What is a time where you asked yourself what you should do and a thought popped up and you were like, no way, and pushed it away? I want to close in a prayer for anyone listening right now who is struggling to hear that soft, almost silent whisper. Lord, I pray that you turn up the volume like I know you can. Let your presence be known over any others clouding your voice. The time for whispering is over. Let them hear your command. And I pray that you give them strength and the courage to seek the road that you lay out before them, the one that you made for no one other than them. I ask this in ways that only I know you can do. I ask this in your name. Amen. Now you guys know that I am bad at goodbyes and I don't want to keep you, but that is all I wanted to share with you. And I will see you for the next video.